Hi, I'm Sherry Chenin, and welcome from First Presbyterian Church, Carson City. We're doing praises and paper folding. This is week 1, basic folds. We're going to just spend some time today learning how to basically fold origami so that as we continue the rest of our project, we have a good foundation for it. I'm really excited to get started with you. Praises and Paper Folding is a 16-week video series where we will be learning origami while creating Noah's Ark. Working with many people, we're going to fold Noah, 12 animals, the Ark, and at the very end we want to bring everybody together who's been folding with us to create a humongous rainbow. After that, we're going to ask everybody who has completed a Noah's Ark at home to bring it to the church to display for everyone to enjoy. This week, we're joined by Lars and Holly Tollefson. Thank you both for being here. And I'm excited to have them here. I've gotten to know them this last year, and they're here to help us learn how to work with origami. All right, well, we're going to start with the easiest of folds. We're starting at the very, very beginning. And but this is important. If you don't have the foundation, then nothing else is going to work. So we have our papers here, and we have the bottom side up, and we're going to start by doing a valley and a mountain fold. And the great thing about that is it's really the same fold, it's just how you hold the paper after you have it folded. And the other thing we want to look at is it's very precise. So as we're folding, we want to make sure our edges are lined up really tightly. So we're going to take and fold it in half, and make sure you have those edges as close as you can. I like to put a finger through the middle and then go out to the edges and just really press it down. Okay, so if we were to hold it this way, which fold do you suppose that is?
Mountain.
The mountain fold, obviously. And to get really exciting, turn it over. Now what do we have?
Oh, it's your turn.
The inside reverse maybe?
No, this is the valley. This is the valley
okay.
fold, yeah. Mountain, valley. And so we did that along this line, and we can go ahead and do it also. We can take it the other way and just fold it and make another mountain slash valley. So
Which,
now that I've got it, I don't know if we can see this on camera, but we have a line
fold side
across
up
here.
and then...
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep. So we now have two mountains intersecting each other on the right side.
Look at it.
Okay. So we've done it side to side and side to side, and we can also do it from corner to corner. So we'll go ahead and turn it back onto its, with the wrong side up again, and
Bottoms up.
bottoms up. We're gonna take this corner and put it to this corner. We'll make a diagonal fold. So we're gonna put it this way. And again, I guess I take my finger and roll it along here, right to the middle, and then out to the edges. And even then, I didn't quite get it right to the exact edges there. I wasn't very precise, but some of that might be in how this paper was cut. Maybe it wasn't cut perfectly, and that would be my fault.
I was blending the paper, don't blame
So,
yourself.
okay, well, it's the paper, but I know it was me. And there's one more of these we can do. I'm sure that you can both work on doing that. I'm going to let you work on doing the last one. And Lars, I want to talk to you a minute and ask you a question. So
Okay.
you and Holly have been married for some time. Tell us, about how long you've been married and...
We've been married
Well, that's
33 years. Love at first sight. We met in a Presbyterian singles group in Los Angeles area, Arcadia. And we're married about 10 months later. Started popping out kids in LA and Sacramento. Then we decided it was time to come to Nevada. We did that in '97.
Okay.
So we've been here for 22 years. The kids are all gone. We're empty nesters.
Very
I
nice.
probably went into what you're gonna ask her, but,
Oh, well, we can overlap. I think when you've been
Okay.
married for 33 years, you probably tend to kind of intertwine.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, we can just, like I said, there's 4 different lines to fold on with a square piece of paper like that, and you can make, on the right-hand side, we have all mountain folds, and on the opposite side, they're all valley folds. And that's the mountain and valley fold.
okay.
Okay, so we did both the mountain and the valley, and so now we're going to move on to more advanced things. And hopefully this won't be too advanced, I think. So we learned how to do a mountain and a valley fold, and we learned how to do a diagonal fold with that. So that's what we're going to start with, is we're going to do a diagonal fold and get those corners together. Hopefully for me a little better than I did last time. Okay. So, let's have the longer bit up, yeah, that's like triangle pointing down towards you. Okay. Now, this part isn't a precise measurement. It's just kind of a visual thing for you. You're going to take this corner and just sort of fold it down like this. And again, it doesn't have to be precise, but you do want it hanging off of here. So just get that nice and crisp. Then we're going to open it and flip it over and fold on that exact same line in the opposite direction. And we're doing that because we're going to be taking this little corner of paper and we're going to fold it inside out. We're good there? Okay.
Double crease now. We're doing something with this here?
We're going to do something with this. So we're going to open this up and you're actually going to open this and push this bit in. And this is called an inside reverse fold. And as you start to make it, you will see why it's called an inside reverse fold. And when it's done, finish that. Are you having a little difficulty with that? Okay, watch here. So here's where we are, and we made that line. We're going to take this bit and we're going to push it down. And it was folded in, this part was folded in a mountain, and we're going to fold it into a valley so that those sides come together, and now we have a valley down
love
here.
that.
You got it, right. Okay, so that's an inside reverse fold. So, Lars, you're gonna practice that, and I'll practice it here too, but I'm gonna ask Holly a question while we practice. So, I'll work here and I'll talk to her, how's that?
Okay.
Okay, so he mentioned you have kids.
We do.
Can you tell us about your kids?
Yeah, there's 3 boys, and they're all grown up, ages 30, 27, and 24. And 2 of them live in Reno. And
2 of them live where?
in Reno.
Oh, in Reno, okay.
And 1 is in St. Louis, Missouri.
That's far away.
Oh, yes, it is.
Wow.
And they're all 3 working, and the youngest is also going to school.
Oh, good. That's good. Hey, you wanna?
Uh-huh. Engineering,
Ooh, what kind of engineering?
electrical.
That's fascinating. That is absolutely fascinating.
That's what I said.
All right, we survived the inside reverse fold.
Yes.
And now we're going to do the outside reverse fold, which is similar, but just enough different to, maybe cause a little confusion. So we're gonna try to take it slowly enough to do this. We're gonna start the same way. We have our wrong side up, and we're gonna go ahead and fold it diagonally, very precisely. The more precise, the better. Now, if you remember, last time we took a corner and we made it come down this way. But we're not gonna do that this time. We're gonna take a corner and we're gonna make it go up. So like we talked about animals, like a sheep or a dog, if we did this on both sides, it'd look like a dog with its ears pointing up. But we're just gonna practice with one side now. Does that help to make it?
Like this, Sherry?
Yep, that'd be perfect, that's fine.
All right.
And then just so we can see if we were to take and do this side again, you can see how it looks like a dog with its ears up.
So we're doing.
But
the
we're
other
not, no,
side?
we're just gonna do the one, just the one.
Okay.
And just like before, when we did it on the one side, then we flipped it over and did it on the other side, just get that good crease. Same thing, we're gonna turn it over and try to find that exact same crease and give it a good press there. Okay. Now this time, instead of taking it under, we're gonna take it over. It's the outside reverse fold, so it's gonna be on the outside. So if we just take this and push it this way, we want to fold back on this line that we created, and then we'll just push this up. And we still have this ear, but if you notice, there's one side of the paper on the front here, and then one side on the back. It sort of makes a little, almost a little envelope there. Tell you what, I'm gonna have her practice this and I'll ask you a question. How's that?
That sounds good.
Okay, so you've lived in this area for quite some time. So what do you enjoy about Carson City and surrounding areas?
Just about everything. We like the climate. We like clean air and blue skies. Lots of outdoor activities. It's a great place to raise kids. Good
agree.
restaurants. What's not to like?
Right, right. Very good. How did you do on your, did you, are you having a little difficulty there? Okay. All right, I can work on that with you. I'm just doing another one over here. And it's one of those things, you do it and you do it and you do it and you practice and you get better and better and better. And I can tell you, there's my little puppy dog with his ears up.
Yeah.
All right, so we've done the inside reverse fold and we've done the outside reverse fold. And that can be a little bit tricky, but I think you did a really good job. All right, for anybody who's a sewer, this is gonna be an easy one. And I think it should be an easy one for anybody, so we should be okay. So we have our paper with the right side up this time. And all we're going to do, you can pick, because this is, we're not doing anything precise right now, this is just practice. Just take your paper and fold it over more than halfway. And try to line up those edges nicely though, because we're still working on precision. Precision's very important.
Okay.
Very good, very good. Now you're gonna want to, you need to like make your edges a little crisper, so really kind of press those in. Yeah, that's important. Now what we're going to do is we're gonna take, you notice it's the back side of the paper showing. So we're going to take and we're gonna fold back, but not all the way. We're going to make a pleat. So when we do that, now we have a pleat.
Folding this back like
And if
this.
you look at it from on edge, it kind of looks like a Z. There you go, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So you and I will sit here and make pleats, and then you're welcome to continue making pleats, but I'm gonna talk to you, and so if you can pleat and talk at the same time, you're welcome to. If not, well, Holly, you've been really helpful with Sunday school.
Oh, I enjoy it.
And you and Lars have some really wonderful ideas about things we could be doing at church, and I'm just wondering, what are you most excited to be involved in here?
Well, obviously, working with the kids is a big thing for me. I
Mhm.
enjoy kids of all ages.
Yeah?
So yeah, teaching Sunday
All
school
ages.
is great.
Yeah, I love hearing that. I'm excited for being able to meet again. So here's a couple of pleats. Anybody, like the kids, they get caught at school and they take a piece of homework and they fold it back and forth and make a fan, There's probably more origami that goes on in schools than anywhere because you have all that paper.
Hey, I did
There you
it.
go. Very good. Very good, nicely done. Okay, this one's a really fun one, and it explains what it is in it. Again, it's the kite base. Now we're gonna do a base. And a base is a basic shape you start with to make many origami figures. So there are folds and there are bases. So something might say, okay, start with a kite base. And so you just know I'm gonna do these folds and be ready to go from there. So we have our paper, we have the right side up. For purposes of practice, it doesn't really matter, but we have our right side up, and I want it facing you kind of like you got a diamond shape. And we're going to go ahead and fold one side to the other. And I have to be honest, like I can't, it's hard for me to do this, so I just turn it around and get it where it's easy for me, and then I take it back to where it's supposed to be. Right down the middle. Nice and crisp. And then I'm just going to turn it back and fold it back. So we all have a line right here down the middle.
You want the valley or the?
We want valley. Oh, good job, valley and mountain, nicely done. Okay, we only have 2 more folds on this, and the next 2 folds we do, we're going to leave folded. We folded that, we opened it, and it'll become obvious as soon as we do this why it's called the kite base. We're going to take this edge right here, and we're gonna fold it so it's even with the middle right here. So we're gonna take this and line it up with the middle and press that down.
Maybe I can
And-
do it now.
Oh, Holly already caught on. We're gonna do the other side, right?
Nice and easy.
So Lars, I was thinking
There we
that, have you ever flown a kite? Have you ever flown a kite?
Yes, I have.
And it's a fun hobby,
Yeah.
isn't it? It is
Yeah.
fun. So what are some hobbies that you and Holly enjoy?
We enjoy going walking, hiking. We like hanging out with our kids. We like reading. Like having people over to the house, socializing. Doing a little bit less of that recently. So
Yeah, for sure.
Can't wait to get back to it.
For sure. But the walking and hiking around here, you can't beat
We've
that.
done more of that than
Yeah,
usual. That's good.
it is. So there's... All right, I really like this one. We're gonna do a fold and a base all in one. And the reason we're doing that is because in order to make this base, we have to do a certain fold. So I just decided we would put them together. We're gonna do a square base. So we're starting with a square, but we're gonna end up with a smaller square. And the fold we're gonna do is called a squash fold. And I just love the name of that, squash fold.
Summer squash.
Right? Are you eating a lot of
Right.
that? I am.
We are.
I'm grilling it. So, yes, squash fold. All right, so we have our paper in front of us. We have the right side up. And we're going to go ahead and start just like we've been doing, and we're going to do a diagonal fold. Get those tips together. Get those corners together as tight as you can. Okay, nice and... Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold it over this way. We're going to take this corner and match it to this corner, so there will be a fold right in the middle. Okay, now it gets fun, and this is where we're going to start squashing. So now we have a little triangle, and you should have the one side facing right at you and the other side kind of off at a diagonal. Because we're going to open this up now. Now here's where we're going to squash. Are you ready to see how the squash goes? You might want to watch first and then go with it. So we have this up, and it opens out, and if I take this top corner, I'm going to move it this way. If I take this top corner and I match it down with the bottom corner down here, and I hold those together, and I might have to fiddle my finger in here to get it, because like this doesn't want to, and I squash it, look what I end up with. I squashed it and there's a square, right? Are you having fun?
I am having fun.
Well, if you're having fun, it's okay.
Okay.
Now we're going to go ahead and just take it and turn it over so we have this hanging up here. So if you were looking at it from head on, it kind of looks like a tadpole, and here's its head, and it's got this tail. We want to put the head down. That square we just made, we want to put it down.
It's down. Then put this up.
Down, like that.
Okay.
There we go. And so then the tail's up like this. There you go. I'm going to turn mine this way just for purposes of camera work. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to take this tip, this corner right here, and we're going to match it to the bottom corner down here. And again, you can put your fingers in. And paper being paper, sometimes it kind of unfolds, and that's okay. It's paper. And now I've got a crimp in mine that doesn't want to come out. It's not going to come out. And we squash it.
So we end up with a square.
We end up with a square. And mine is not very good, I'm going to tell you, on all honesty, it's not very good, but that's all right. It's okay. I've made much better, but here it is.
You can use more.
Oh, yours looks very good. Look at that. I'm very impressed. Nicely done. So we started with a big square and we made it into a small square. And if you look at it, on the one side you've got flat, and opposite that flat, and then on the inside it opens up like that.
Oh, nice.
Okay?
This reminds me of those little things you used to make at school.
Cootie catchers.
Oh.
Cootie catchers.
Cootie catchers. Oh, I made those all the time. Little tiny, I don't even know how I made them as small as I did, but
Yeah.
this is a terrible example, but Lars had a fantastic one, so
Yay.
nicely done. All right, well, we're gonna do the petal fold. And in order to do the petal fold, we have to start with a square base. So since we've done a square base, we're going to do another one for practice. And then we have the one that we did, and then we have a fresh piece of paper. And so we can choose whichever of those we like best to move on with the petal fold. And while we're doing that, as we're doing this, I want you to both answer a question for me, and that's, you know, all of this is in preparation for our big Noah's Ark project we're doing. We're gonna make Noah's Ark and Noah and a bunch of different animals and a rainbow. And so I love the Noah's Ark story. It's probably, I've got another one that's a favorite, but I would like to hear what your favorite Bible stories are.
Well, I really like the story of Ruth and Naomi, and I like that because of the faithfulness of Ruth and how she just has a very loving heart towards Naomi.
Nice, yeah.
I like Daniel's friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. As they used to say, under the bed we go, to remember his name. And how faithful they were and how they trusted God.
Right.
And God was there.
Right, good, very good. I love Joseph and his
Yeah.
coat, many
That too.
colors, and
It's a great
how
story.
God was faithful over the span of so many years. That was pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with, again, another square base, and then we're gonna turn it into a petal fold, so it's gonna kind of look like, as you can imagine, a petal of a flower. So we have our paper, we'll put the right side up, and we're going to bring it down and match up our corners. We're making a diagonal fold, pressing that out nice, and you really have to pressure your folds in origami, otherwise you just end up with kind of mush. And then we're going to take this corner and match it to this corner so it will fold right down the middle. So once we've done that, we are going to hold one side down and put one side straight up. And I'll do that here. And we're going to take this top corner that's standing up like a flag, and we're going to match it down to this bottom corner right here by squashing the paper. We're going to squash the paper open. And I'm going to try to do a really good job on this. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Sometimes you do a fold and it makes you very happy because you got it just right.
Other times.
And other times, maybe not so much.
So did you achieve,
You can-
did
you can
achieve
stick your finger in
perfection
there. I would hate to say that, but I did better than I did when we originally did a square base. Right, practice, practice, practice.
Is that right?
It's pretty close. And then, again, we have this sort of square right here. I'm gonna lay the square down and put this other side of it up. Just gonna, like a flag. And how about if I fold mine and then I'll give you a little extra help on that. How's that?
You bet.
Okay. So I'm gonna squash this side also. And again, I'm gonna turn it around to make it easy for me. You can turn things around whichever way you need to make it work for you. There we go. So there's that. All right, so we have now this sort of triangle here. We've got triangles within triangles. And again, I'm gonna turn it around this way to show the camera. This bit right here, that's the top that we folded over, I'm going to hold on to that. And I'm gonna take the top, just the top layer, and start bringing it back this way. And as I do, this will start to fold in on itself and meet, the edges will meet in the middle. So now you actually have like a diamond shape, but you have to hold this section down. When you hold this section down and you pull them out,
Oh, okay.
so you can kind of see how this looks like a petal with maybe a leaf behind it. And again, you're gonna want to just make it nice and crisp. Now, if you want to, we could do the same thing on the other side because it wouldn't be that difficult. Here's that little, I've turned it over and now we've still got that little triangle. And we can do the same thing on this side. We just fold
Fold
this
it
back right in the middle and bring it in. So
there.
hold here.
Oh,
And
okay.
pull this back.
Hold this back.
Pull this back. And pull this back. We didn't, oh, you know, we didn't do a kite fold on this. I suppose if we did the kite fold first. Right there. Right there, that helps. You gotta do the kite fold. So do the kite fold here.
So
Open
we're
it up.
gonna do that. Okay. Oh, there. Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
And
And on the
then
other side here?
on the other side. And then when you hold the middle and pull it back. And you can put your hands all over the paper. You can get them in there where it needs to be, to jimmy it around where it needs to go, because sometimes it wants to go a different way and you just have to tell it no.
So then hold it here.
And then, this petal's not coming out great. Yep, and then you open it up. Mine went kind of wonky sideways, but when you're done, you have these. This looks kind of like, this looks a little bit sort of science fiction. Okay.
On this side.
Oh, that's okay. So we're here. Oh, see, the kite fold has to go this way.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Reverse
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
I remember it wasn't working.
There you go. And yeah, I mean, I love paper because it's just paper.
Yeah.
So if you goof it up, well, then you just get another piece. So then just gonna pull that out and then you can get to the other side. How you doing over here? Okay, so now we open this and hold here.
Hold it back. Yes, good. I can do that.
And then these fold in onto themselves. There's that, okay? And then the same thing happens on this side.
And don't be afraid to.
Don't be afraid, you're gonna have to move your finger though, otherwise it's not gonna fold where it needs to. That's not a very good petal, is it? That's
I
okay.
don't know. We're not gonna be judgmental.
That's okay. No. So. Having a little trouble with that? Okay, we're gonna do the fish base, the last one, and we have our papers are wrong side up. And so we're gonna start doing almost a kite base, but not quite a kite base. We are gonna go ahead and we're gonna fold in half, matching this corner to this one. And again, I'm gonna turn that towards me, just to make it easier for myself. I don't think I did it very precision-like, so this may be a bit of a mess for me. That's okay. And we're going to open that up. Now we're going to take, we've got it sort of pointing towards us. It's pointing towards us, right? We're going to take one side right here, and we're going to take that side just like we did the kite, and we're going to fold it in so that this matches this in the middle. But we're not going to do the other side. We're going to open that up. And then, so we just did this side. Take a look at this side here. We're going to take this side and also fold it into the middle. So we'll have one whole side of our triangle with just triangle. There'll be no other folds on it. We'll have two overlapping folds and we'll have two intersecting lines in there. So if we open that up, we have the line down the middle, and we have here and here. We have 3 valley folds, 1, 2,
Was
3.
it this one, Sherry?
Okay, so this isn't difficult, but it seems difficult. What we're going to end up doing is taking these 2 lines, and they're going to go into the center. And this is going to end up hanging out above it, kind of like a fin. So I'll show you what we're going to do here. We fold in on those lines we made, and it comes to that, there's that point on the line. So we don't create any new lines, but where we have those 2 lines that came together, that point, we go from there to the edge. And we want this to come to a nice crisp point right here. If you can see that against my hand. Nice crisp point right there. It's flat against here. And then we can take that, and once we have that, we can fold down one way. We can fold it down the other just to give it staying. So there's a little fin. It's kind of da-dun, kind of like a shark. You got it. You got it. Just make sure that you have, what you want there is, see the point, the little tip? You want to make sure that it comes straight up to the, yes, you want to kind of hold that and get that. So you kind of hold that and go, there you go, right. And then you fold it over both ways just to kind of give it that crisp line there. Everything, I think, how many times have I used the word crisp? We want to be as precise as we can. So we can set that down. And then we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side.
Yeah.
So we're going to take this side and we're going to do that kite fold like we did. And
What'd you do with your little tip?
it's just sitting here, it's just sort of laying down,
Yeah, okay.
right? So we're going to do that kite fold on this side. And then we're going to open that up. And then we're going to do the kite fold. We're still on that same side, but the opposite side of the side. That does not make sense. This is not good directions. So what we've done is we've made those same lines again, valley folds. We have one valley fold here, one valley fold here, and there's a point right there where they meet. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring this edge and this edge right into the middle. So we just, this fold we made, it's going to fold on that. We're not going to make any new folds. We bring it together and find that point again.
We are gonna mess with it to make it look good,
we're gonna mess with it to make it look good for sure, yeah?
Okay.
And then we get it together, and we do that, and we can fold it one way and the other, just to, again, crisp, right? And so now you have two little stuff. Look at you go. Good job. How you doing over there, Holly? You got it, yeah. So if we set them down like this, and here is our fish base. So he can go swimming, I guess. But there it is.
Good job.
Well, good job, both of you. Yeah. Just want to give a special thank you to Lars and to Holly. Thank you for spending time with me today
fun.
and folding some paper and answering some questions. Appreciated hearing all that.
It was fun.
Good. I'm glad you thought so.